Roshi's dedicated paddle website where we have made life easy for everyone to be super creative and create a gorgeous paddle for their bigs. I recommend start by looking at all the pictures that we have assembled here. You will see so many so that you can get inspired. There's just no one way to do any paddles. That's what creativity is all about. Yes, we understand all paddles require the same elements. They require the name of the Greek organization, big, so-and-so, little, so-and-so, years. If the crest is available, put the crest on there. If you happen to have family names, nicknames, class names, so on and so forth. Yes, those are the elements that go on all sorts of paddles. But the way you make it, it speaks volume about your creativity and your relationship with your big. From what I hear, the latest standard is that I want to make my big cry. So here we go. We're going to help you to make your big cry in a good way. So once you land on paddles101.com, besides seeing all the gorgeous pictures, you scroll down, you're going to see that we have assembled everything you possibly could want to put on your paddle. You just need to know where to find it. First step, you need to pick a paddle size. If this is for your big bro, you want to click on the 30-inch big bro paddle. That's usually the size that is desired, and it gives you an opportunity to tell a gorgeous story. You have plenty of room. So click on this product, you'll get to see a variety of things, right? You get to see, okay, there are different shapes, and click on all these images here, and then you'll get to see. So color, in case you're wondering what that means, the maple is the lighter color one, and the oak is the darker color one. They're both amazing. They're both user-friendly. Maple is typically for those people who wish to paint. Why? Because it makes your life a lot easier to paint on a light surface as opposed to oak, which is already a darker surface. And you also want to have oak when the natural grain of the wood, the beauty of it, is supposed to be visible. A lot of people don't want to paint. They want something that's going to look amazing off the bat, so they go with oak. You just don't even have to paint because all the letterings that we provide you are also top grade wood, so you don't need to paint those either. If time is of the essence for you and you're not super creative and you don't want to waste time painting or learning how to paint or find someone to paint for you, I recommend just get the oak paddle. This way, by the time you get the paddle, you get all of your elements, you're ready to go. You just peel and stick all the letterings. Every element you get from us is ready to peel and stick. Life made easy. Remember, if you are going to use the maple paddle, you can still do the same thing. But most often, people choose to paint. If you are going to paint, we recommend using acrylic water-based paint. Why? Because the sticky back of the lettering will stick to a water-based paint. An oil base is not going to make it as easy, and in the long term, it may not get permanently stuck on there. But if you choose the water base, this is permanent, and I cannot emphasize enough how great the sticky back works. So you're here, you're going to choose the wood, whether it's maple or whether it's going to be oak. Then here you click on the size. The size currently is basically your organization. Why you want to keep, abreast of the organization, because this will signal to us what should we give you as far as your crest is concerned, right? So part of this whole package, not only you get the paddle, you get the connected word for big bro and little bro. You also get to say what year and what semester. And then you also get to say what chapter you want on here. And you get obviously the Greek letters and you get the crests. Okay, so read it right here. It tells you everything that comes in this bundle. So are you done yet? Definitely not. This is the foundation. Everybody needs this. So here you go, Kappa Sigma. Choose the shape. You put in here you want scroll, for instance, and then you do the semester, year, all that kind of good stuff. The 2 letters are for the chapter. You can put the class, but most often people choose their chapter. If you want the wreath is extra. This is where you add it. And for the wreath, there are 2 options. How do you see the options? If you click on these images, image number 1 is no wreath. You just see everything that's included in the bundle. Image number 2 it shows you one wreath. This happens to be the open wreath. It gives you more open area if you want to put more stuff on it. The third image here, it shows you the Greek wreath. Very popular, and you still can use it. As you can see, you have an area on the very top, round area, that you can use to put your family name, something, a message, or just leave it blank. And below, you can actually, below the crest, you can put the initials of your chapter, for instance. So, or not put anything on there, as you can see here. So the wreath is an amazing tool. Not only it brings focus to your paddle, typically placed in the middle, sometimes on top or on the bottom, but it creates an anchor visual point of focus, which is amazing. And you can use it as a space saver. Obviously, you can put the crest on there. You can put a whole bunch of other little text on there if you so wish. So here at the very bottom, if you want to upgrade to oak, you just say yes, or just say oak, whatever it is, and we know that you've decided to upgrade to oak. The default for this item, obviously, is maple. You just need to tell us the shape. Scroll edge, again, you can see the difference in this last one. Scroll is the one that is having the little notches, and the straight is the one that goes straight. They're both same size. However, if you do have big names, longer names, you may want to go with the straight edge because it gives you more area to work with. The scroll is indented, therefore it has lost a little bit of the width. So once you choose this item, add it to your cart. Again, you can go back here and you can see you don't need another paddle, you don't need the crest because you already got it in your bundle. And this was if you wanted to have a crest or something that is already laser engraved, you can go here and get it. For instance, we have the badge for certain organization. People like to add that beyond the crest. So here is the element of the wreath. Again, these are additional. If you forgot to add it to that part, you can add it separately. Now, the next step after you have the bundle, it is to get all of your lettering to spell out names, to spell out nicknames, to spell out family names, whatever you want to spell out. So you want to come to either this bundle or this bundle. The difference is the single layer and double layer. As you can see in this image right here, we offer a variety of sizes of the lettering. Why? Because you cannot be putting all the information in the same size on your paddle. Visually, it doesn't look good, and you just need different sizes so that you make sure you accommodate everything you want to put on the paddle. So we have the size 1. The size 1 is about 1/2 inch tall. It's usually used to put like family names, whatever your family name, let's say Wolfpack, whatever the name is going to be, you want to put that in that size. Why? Because it will fit. Now, if you choose your family name to be bigger, you can, obviously, but you have to figure out where on the paddle it's going to be put. The reason I usually say the little size for stuff like that, because especially if you're getting the wreath, or even if you don't have the wreath and you want to put some information above the crest, on the side of the crest, or below the crest, size 1 is your best friend. Now, size 2 and size 3, whether in the single or the double layer, they're the best sizes to spell out names. Your name, your big's name, your classes, things of that nature. Why? Because they need to pop when they're on the paddle. Obviously, someone's name is very short. You want to go with the size 3 and even size 4. Let's say someone's name is JP. You just want to go size 4, especially if it's for your big, because that stands out more. So size 2, 3, and 4 are used for a variety of things. Size 2 and 3 primarily for names and nicknames. Again, depending on the length of the name, you want to choose according for that. And why do you want to do a double layer? The double layer is when you need a pop. Some people like that double look because it gives them that extra pop. It is a great idea, especially if you're using a painted surface or even the oak surface. Because if you were getting an oak and you would get these letters, the oak is already dark and the one layer is already dark. To put the dark on top of the dark, it's not that visible. But if you put the double layer on top of the dark oak, it will pop, obviously, by default, because you have a white backing in between. So this right here, the wood lettering bundle, is for the 1 layer right here. And then it'll give you the sizing. There's a pack of 12 for size 1, size 2, and size 3. So different pricing, but you get to choose whatever you want. So you might have to order from this item multiple times if you're ordering size 1 and size 2 and size 3. And each one, you just put your lettering right here in what you want and add it to the cart. So moving on, let's assume you have some items that are going to be in the double layer. So you find the bundle, which is the bundle. This specifically is for double layer. Again, you choose the size, size 2, size 3, size 4. These are packs of 4, and you get to put whatever you need in here. They're available in regular alphabet, Greek alphabet, and numbers. The Greek alphabet are your regular uppercase alphabet that you know of, alpha, beta, gamma, all of that. So, and they all end up being the same size. So you add that to the cart. Again, if you need multiple bundles or multiple of the same size, you need to do this multiple times. So now that you have your paddle pack, then you have your lettering to spell out names, nicknames, classes, year, whatever, your family name. You want to beautify your paddle. Beautification comes, and personalization really comes from adding symbols. Symbols that kind of signify your big and you. That's where really most of the paddle, they start becoming different because it kind of is a snapshot of the time that you and your big connected, spent time with each other. And it's a snapshot of this moment in time. It's going to show what your big is into, what you're into, right? And the reason I say snapshot, people will hold on to their paddles for the rest of their life, especially if it's beautifully made. It becomes part of their journey, their story of life that they're going to put in their home, in their office, show it to their kids. Is going to create a lot of conversation. And most likely, this is a brotherhood event of your life. You want to create something that when you guys talk with each other 20, 30 years down the road, you look at the paddle and it transports you back to today and what kind of a person you were today. So customization via doing all kinds of symbol does that in the easiest of ways. And as you can see, we have a lot of them. We have some that are most often used by people. I'm going to click on the most basic ones, and they are available, as you can see, in 3 different sizes. There is the size mini, which is typically very small, about 1 inch tall or 1 inch width, whichever one makes sense for that particular icon. Then there is the regular size. The regular size is around 1.85, something of that sort. And again, either on the width side or on the height side, depends on the icon. And then we have the jumbo. The jumbo is the bigger size where it's approximately 2.5 to 2.75, depends on the actual icon. Now, while we have some that are part of our regular library, in the same sizing, we offer some of the same, like a variety of icon that are considered more custom, and custom is more expensive. So it's really up to you to figure out whether you're buying basic or whether you're buying custom. So here in this bundle, you have the option of doing the basic, the one that you see that says basic, mini, regular, and jumbo. And you come here, you choose your size, again, mini, regular, and jumbo, and then you need to write the name of the symbol you want. And you're going to say, hey, how do I know where to get that symbol, or where is the list? The list lives in symbol library, and that's where you want to pay attention. Read everything is here. We're trying to make it as easy to understand as possible, and there are lots and lots and lots of symbols here. Why this extensive library? Because we believe you need to be super creative, because that's what we've learned throughout the years. And not everyone wants to stay within the generic. The generic is the basic stuff. The more customized one that we have created is the one that have the little asterisks on them, right? So there is, for instance, a normal guitar right here. That's guitar 1. but as you can see, Guitar 2 is the custom. So why do you need to know this? As I mentioned when we were in the previous product, you need to know it because then you need to choose which category you're going to place your order with. This is the basic symbol. This is the custom symbol, the ones that had the asterisks. They're a little bit more expensive, so therefore the two different categories. In each category, you still can choose the size mini, regular, or jumbo. Now, beyond these libraries, we also have created a lot more, and these are more specific. There is the superhero series. You go here, you can see what it's all included in it, all that kind of good stuff. Choose the size, and then write the name of the symbol. Here, we make these symbols in the maple color, the lighter. Why? Because we feel a lot of these things have a lot of detail and they're better visible when they're lighter. You have the option of getting it in the dark wood. They don't exist. We're making it for you. It doesn't cost to change the wood. And as you can see here, here's an example of the clippers, for instance, in the light maple as opposed to the darker one. Here, since I magnified, you don't see it very well, but I encourage you to check out the difference. Obviously, it's a lot harder to see tiny details in a darker wood. For some other ones, it may not make a difference. That's why we give you the option. Sometimes people love to go with a darker one because they're painting it in the paddle in a lighter color wood. Therefore, the darker makes more sense for them. Some other people, no, they're either painting their paddle in a dark wood or they're going with oak. So therefore, the maple makes more sense. We just felt we want to do it in a maple because being that it is super special and it is usually detailed, it serves you better. But the option is yours. Decide what you want to do. And there are plenty of options in the specialty category. You have the baseball series, basketball series, the football series, and the first one we looked at was the superheroes. And the example happened to be for a basketball series. But here it is, a baseball, for instance, and you get to see which baseball teams are available. These are that are already available. You pick and choose. Again, option to choose whatever color wood you want. And these are more advanced customization tools. Maybe not everybody is interested doing them. I encourage you to follow Paddles 101 details, explore it for yourself, click on the tabs, check out the symbols library. There is the resources button that also gives you pretty much everything you need to have. You can download the paddle mapping. That's for you to brainstorm and start writing the elements you want to put on your paddle because it helps you when you map it out. You prepare first. This is again all the steps that I just explained. You can read about it there. This is all the different shapes and different colors, and this is the wood lettering chart. Between these four, you're all prepared to create your gorgeous masterpiece for your big. If you have any further questions, feel free to call or text 818-775-1622 or info@roshis.com if you need other things that may not be available on the platform yet. I encourage you to take advantage of everything that's on the platform because we make everything when you order. It takes time. And if you want items that are not available currently on the platform, it will even take longer. So depending on the timeline you have and what's going on inside our company and how busy things are, especially during certain season, you may want to allow yourself a lot longer to create your paddle. If time is on your side, we have other options to create super custom pieces for you, or we offer laser engraving on top of doing your lettering and all that. Those type of services are above and beyond everything you see here. There are minimums involved, and it's coded per project. So again, feel free to get in touch if the existing paddles101.com is not enough for you, and only then. I'm talking about just maybe 1% of the people. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward helping you to create your masterpiece.